friends, this is the Cryptonian taking a look at Bitcoin once again. Now, I know you're probably interested in altcoins, some of you, and you're probably wondering, well, why? Why do we continue to take a look at Bitcoin? Well, because Bitcoin is the king of the market. Bitcoin runs the crypto market like Amazon and the tech stocks like Tesla run the legacy markets, the stock market, right? They are an indicator of the overall health of the space, right? And price action. So this is why we are looking at Bitcoin to see where the general market sentiment lies and where the general market potentially could be going. That being said, we're taking a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin currently is at about, let's see, 25,979. We're taking a look at the daily, and we did see this pump a couple days ago of 7.5 or 7.4%. Why was that? Excuse me. Well, the reason is because the SEC lost in a decision against Grayscale. Now, that being said, there are some newer developments over the past few days, and one is the SEC blocks the ETF, or should I say postpones the ETF approval for BlackRock, right? So it's being delayed. This occurred on August 31st. This was yesterday. Excuse me. And prior to that, it says Bitcoin traders wipe Grayscale gains after SEC delays spot ETF decisions. So we're just seeing some FUD in the market, right? Bitcoin heads for red September. Bitwise withdraws Bitcoin and Ether market cap ETF application. So there are some negative developments being highlighted in the news. This is causing fear. But also at the same time, what we're seeing is that we're losing momentum in the market. And when we take a look at the daily, we can see the structure of the market right now in the local scope. Here we have a low, higher low, and then now slightly higher low, or maybe even the same here, as far as the same low as before. So I said this some time ago when we had this pump and we were grinding out this area. I said that this was weak, that we were losing momentum. And that's exactly what occurred. If you remember taking a look at some of my, or thinking back to some of my older videos, I was telling you that on the weekly there was a gravestone candle that was developing here, and then that of course predicted a pullback and weakness. So even though we did have that pump of 7%, that quickly sold off just because the structure of the market is getting weaker. Now that being said, we could see some type of sideways consolidation like so. But anytime that we are under the 200, this is bearish, and the bears come out to play. We're in the woods, right, where the bears play, and so we could have more downside pressure from here. You can see here we use the 200 daily moving average as support, and then now it has become resistance. And so this is a sign that the market's getting weaker. The bears are shorting, and we could see additional downside price action. Now that being said, let's take a look at the big picture. Now I made a previous video. It was 35 minutes long, and it was more technical, and I want to make sure that I'm not getting too technical, so I'm remaking the video in a shorter format. I just want to stay more basic so it's easier to understand for those of you who are new. So that being said, we're bumping our head on the 30 and the 50 and the 200 here. And so this is indicating weakness and that the bears are in control. That being said, our point of control is way up here. Our point of control currently right now as far as volume is concerned is 30,300. 30,300 remains that level that the bulls have to push higher than to gain control on the daily chart. Now that eventually will come back down over time, but for right now, that's a high bar, and I don't think we're going to be breaking that anytime soon. Like I said, resistance is at the 200. That is 27,200. 27,200 is resistance, and that shows the same area as the volume node here. This volume node, which was a lot of buying in this area previous, is now resistance. And so a lot of the buyers here in this area, if the price starts to fail and go lower, a lot of the holders here in this area may sell. So that could increase the selling pressure and downside pressure for Bitcoin. And that being said, support is at 24,900. This is previous price support here, and we're slightly above that. We actually hit it a little bit below that, and then we bounced above that. So what to expect? Okay, so what to expect is, excuse me, in my opinion, when you take a look at the price action before here, when we were in this bull flag, we came down, we broke above the moving averages, and then we came back down consolidating tightly, and then we had the big move to the upside. Well, whenever you have the 200 and the moving averages above you like that and you get rejected, chances are that you're going to go sideways in a bear flag and then break back down, right? Now here we broke above it and we consolidated tightly and we were able to then move higher. That may be the case here. We may not go below 24,900. If that's the case, we'll see some tight consolidation and then push higher from there, right? So in my opinion, if we lose the 24,900, the next level is the 0.68, or excuse me, 0.61, the 0.6 Fibonacci, which is a golden pocket, which is down here at 22,569, 22,569, and that, in my opinion, would be a good place to buy. Again, this is not investment advice. I cannot tell you to buy or sell. That is your decision. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing with you the experience that I have in the market and the way that I see things. And that being said, I did say that around the 200 moving average, we normally see volatility, and this is exactly what we're seeing. We did see that big push to the upside, and the reason is large players like to grab that liquidity. This is trading activity and not investment activity. So in my opinion, if we get down here to the golden pocket, which is 22,500 roughly, or 22,600, this is where I'm going to be entering the market for long term. Now remember, I said August is usually slow. We're in the slow time period of the summer, and the big players don't usually come back until Q4, okay, of this year. Q4 preparing for Q1 of next year. Q1 is usually where you have a lot of bullish activity. And of course, this coming year is special because we do have a election year coming, and so the elections will play into this bullish behavior, because usually what happens is the markets usually are bullish because um, you know the sitting president wants to manipulate things to make himself look good so he can use that as a campaigning point, saying that hey, look at the markets are doing well, and that's because of me. And so this is, people have very short-term memories, and so that's usually the manipulation that occurs during election years and around that time. So I'm expecting a very bullish year to come up in January, which is not long from now. And this dip here, this opportunity to buy down in this area, in my opinion, could be the last opportunity, the last dip buy opportunity before we go into the end of the year and prices start increasing and bullish activity starts increasing, and Q1 of next year, which I think will be the start of the next bull run. So that being said, these would be the price points to watch, right? 24,900 is support. If we break that, then 22,600 would be the golden pocket, and I believe that that would see a lot of buying pressure coming in at that time. So, however, that being said, there is a theory that I need to share with you. There is a theory that states that if this is an Elliott 1 wave, we could actually come down. Elliott 1 waves actually come down to where they started, or very close. So we started down here in the 16,700 area, right around here. We did go lower, but the actual move to the upside occurred then. So we could actually come down and test, probably down in this area. It's very possible to test this area, which would be from 17 to 20, in my opinion, because Bitcoin has a, a very large uh, range, right, of natural fluctuation, or deviation. Standard deviation is quite high. In a bull market, you can have Bitcoin naturally fluctuating $5,000, $4,000 to $5,000 in price. So that being said, we could actually see a $20,000 Bitcoin before we actually turn around and bounce higher and go into higher bullish activity. So just be aware of that. But I think that anywhere under 25,000, in my opinion, is a good buy. I don't think that I don't think Bitcoin will stay below that very long. If it gets below that, we could see a lot of price action here, consolidation price action going sideways until the 200 moving average starts moving down like this and gets closer to striking distance where the price can hold above that. That's really what we're waiting for. You see here where the price moved above the 200 and then it held the 200 as support. Yes, it did break it here briefly, and then it went right above it. So this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for some positive price action strength during an encounter with the 200 moving average, and that right now was just recently rejected. So those are the price points to look for. I'm expecting more downside action. One thing to remember is on the weekly here is this week, depending on how price action ends on Sunday, we have another significant development, and that is this gravestone doji on the weekly. Gravestone doji on the weekly, and we are still currently under a B2 signal. That's the last level 2 signal. So we're currently, uh, by definition, by technical definition, we are still bullish, but we are a hair's breadth away from getting a S2 signal, which is officially a trend to the downside, right? So right now we're getting bearish price action on the weekly, and we're getting very close to a S2 signal on the weekly, which if that is the case, if we get that S2, then we're going to see much more pressure to the downside and we can see lower prices. And again, that golden pocket coming in at 22,600 is where I would be very interested in purchasing anything under 25,000. Like if you buy at 25,000, 24, 23, 22, all the way down, your average price will be very good when the price turns around, and you'll be in profit fairly quickly as soon as the end of the year and next year comes around. Again, not investment advice. So there you have it. Those are the price points. I'm expecting more downside action just because the weekly is really showing a lot of bearish activity currently on this week, and it is showing a gravestone candlestick. And then on the daily, like I've said before, we can see that, we have that bearish action as well here, that move to the upside getting totally rejected, and we're under the 200 here, which is bearish. We're under the moving averages, and we're under that volume node, which is bearish. So currently short-term support 24,900. If we lose that, then I'm expecting downside, which could bring us to the golden pocket of 22,700. Thank you, friends, for watching. Please click like. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, and we appreciate your time. Please tell your friends about this if they're interested in crypto, about this channel. I am striving to bring you proper analysis instead of all of the nonsense that's out there. All of the nonsense as far as predictions, and the best thing to remember is taking this step by step and recognizing opportunities when they present themselves, right? So that being said, appreciate you watching. And again, to clarify, we could see something like this play out as we go forward in consolidation. This could be a large consolidation zone. If not, if it's not a large consolidation zone and we lose that 24,900, then we could be looking at price points at 22,700, which is golden pocket, and this is going to be my level where I will be entering the market for the next bull run. Thank you, friends. See you next time.